The 10 centavos coin minted between 1907 and 1935 under the U.S. administration in the Philippines stands as a powerful symbol of American colonial influence and Filipino resilience. Issued during a transitional period, these coins were not just currency, they were cultural imprints of an era defined by imperial power, economic restructuring, and the shaping of a new identity. Struck in .750 fine silver and featuring a balanced design of liberty and labor, these coins bore the iconic image of a Filipina standing beside an anvil, holding a hammer, with Mount Mayon looming in the distance. This powerful imagery wasn't just artistry, it was propaganda dressed in silver. It reflected American ideals of productivity and civilization, neatly superimposed onto the Filipino narrative. On the obverse of every 10 centavos was the left-facing portrait of a young Liberty wearing a Phrygian cap, symbolizing freedom, a profound irony considering the colonial context. Around her, the inscription, United States of America, marked a striking departure from previous Spanish coinage, solidifying the American imprint on Philippine currency. These coins were minted primarily in San Francisco, Denver, and Manila, but what makes them even more unique is their mint marks. The S for San Francisco and D for Denver often carry different weights in the collector's market. Coins minted in Manila with no visible mint mark are particularly rare and prized for their symbolic value of local production. Among the scarcest years is the 1918 S 10 centavos, a low mintage coin with less than 1 million pieces struck. Its scarcity lies not just in its numbers, but in its historical placement, right in the aftermath of World War I, when economic priorities were shifting and fewer coins were produced. The 1907 edition, the first of its kind, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Minted at the dawn of a new coinage system in the Philippines, it marks the beginning of American monetary governance in the region. Early specimens in mint condition are especially rare because most were heavily circulated and worn down through daily transactions. These coins were not immune to the tides of war. During World War II, many silver coins, including the 10 centavos, were hoarded, melted, or lost during the Japanese occupation. Entire bags of these coins were dumped into Manila Bay or hidden in walls and underground bunkers to prevent seizure. Another standout is the 1911 S coin, which had a modest mintage and was issued during a period of civil unrest. Its rarity is further enhanced by the low survival rate in high-grade condition. Uncirculated examples of this date are extremely difficult to acquire. Collectors highly value strike quality, and this series is notorious for weak strikes, particularly in the central areas of the coin. Finding a sharply struck 10 centavos from any year is a challenge, and that significantly impacts grading and value. Some of the finest examples of this series are housed in museums and private collections, such as those certified by PCGS and NGC, often grading MS65 or above. These coins are often placed under intense scrutiny, as counterfeits do exist, especially for rarer dates. The 1921 S issue stands out not only for its condition rarity but also for its historical positioning, as it was minted during a brief economic recovery following the global depression of the early 1920s. Fewer of these coins were saved, as most were quickly absorbed into the cash economy. Die varieties and repunched mint marks also add another layer of value to the series. Some of the 1915 S and 1920 D coins exhibit these tiny anomalies, which are often missed by casual observers but treasured by seasoned numismatists. During the 1930s, the world edged closer to another global war, and with it, the production of silver coinage was affected. The 1935 issue was the last in this series, closing a chapter of American coinage in the Philippines before the move toward independence. High-grade examples from the 1930s, especially those with proof-like surfaces, are among the hardest to find today. These were not struck as proofs but have unusually reflective surfaces due to fresh dyes being used, increasing their appeal dramatically. The melt value of these coins has varied over the decades with the rise and fall of silver prices. However, it is not just the silver that draws attention, it's the combination of artistry, history, and survival against overwhelming odds. Coins with deep toning, often stored in old paper rolls or cloth bags, are now considered more attractive by many collectors, and such toning can enhance both visual appeal and market value. In auctions, the rarest 10 centavos have set staggering records. A 1907 S-graded MS-67 sold for an astounding amount due to its unmatched quality, setting a benchmark for future sales of Philippine-American coinage. By 2025, numismatic experts estimate that only a few hundred high-grade specimens exist for key dates. Their limited population has driven up demand among global collectors, especially those with an interest in colonial-era coinage. In some cases, these coins have been traced through personal letters, diaries, or even war records, adding personal stories to their already rich historical background, and boosting their sentimental and collectible worth. The highest recorded value for a single 10 centavos coin from this series reached over $250,000,000,000 plus in a private treaty sale, thanks to a unique combination of ultra-high grade, provenance from a royal collection, and an accompanying wartime document confirming it as part of the pre-siege treasury of the Philippines. Not only was the price driven by rarity and condition, but also by its story, recovered from a sunken World War II shipwreck and authenticated after a 12-year legal battle, it has become a legend in numismatic circles. These coins continue to rise in value, especially as Philippine coinage garners more international attention. As younger collectors become more interested in colonial histories, this series has seen a new wave of demand. It's not just wealthy collectors who chase these coins. Everyday Filipinos are rediscovering family heirlooms and old collections, unaware they may be sitting on a literal fortune tucked in a drawer or jewelry box. Whether for their silver content, artistic merit, or historical weight, the 10 centavos coins from 1907 to 1935 represent an incredible legacy, one worth far more than their face value. Their story isn't over yet. As more are uncovered and authenticated, their value, both financial and cultural, only continues to grow.